my name is Chef Katrina, and thank you for joining us here at relivingrecipes.com. Today we're going to go ahead and make a recipe that was submitted by a Reliv independent distributor to Reliv headquarters. It's called a Reliv fruit smoothie. It was submitted by Karen of Wisconsin, so Karen, thank you for submitting this recipe to us. We're going to do a couple of small variations to this recipe, but I will submit the original with the modifications that I've done today. So, one of the recommendations from another distributor out there was to use a Mason's jar instead of a blender. We see a lot of people that are using the magic bullet or some sort of a wand or stick, and we decided that maybe it would be a good idea to try the Mason jar. So we're going to go ahead and just start putting everything in. It's going to call for 1 cup of milk. So we have that. Calls for 1/2 cup of water, measured out over here. This may be the perfect size jar for this too. Calls for 1/4 cup of vanilla or strawberry yogurt. We went with the vanilla, so I'm going to go ahead and just pour that right into there. And I love these poppy little things. I don't even have to scrape. After that, she calls for 5 cubes of ice, and then she calls for fresh strawberries and or raspberries. So instead of opted out, just use the frozen berry blend that I found. So it's got raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all this into there, about 1/2 cup or so. Dropping that right in there. Next, it calls for 1/2 banana. So we're going to go ahead and just do 1/2 banana in there. Banana. 1 scoop of the Reliv Classic. We're going to go ahead and use the Reliv now. This is just a little bit of vanilla flavored. On this one, it's actually just 1/2 scoop instead of a full scoop. So we're going to go ahead and just do 1/2 scoop of the now into here. You can use the Classic if you're going to do that. Make sure you put in a full scoop of the Classic. Next, it calls for a fiber store. Calls for 1 scoop of fiber store. So again, if you've not had our fiber before, I would go a little bit lighter, maybe 1/2 scoop or 1/4 scoop, just starting out. So full scoop of fiber into there. And then it calls for 1 scoop of the Cool Punch Energized. So here's our Cool Punch. We're going to put in 1 full scoop of that also. Goes right in. And then we're going to go ahead and I took the base of our blender from the other blender that we had in here, like this one right here. I just took the base out of it. Then we're going to go ahead and put the base onto here. That fits in just perfectly. We're going to go ahead and screw that on. Flip it upside down, just like we would for our magic bullet. Put this on here. Locked into place. We got everything really nicely blended up in here. I'm going to actually pull this off from here. I'm going to unscrew the top. Whatever you do, if it's on the base here, don't twist off in there or you will lose it all. So taking off the top. That's fantastic. You can just drink it out of the jar like we normally would, or we go ahead and pour it into our cup. Whoops. So we got a little bit more than our cup here, so this is definitely probably a portion size for at least 2. Let's go ahead and taste. That is extremely berry delicious. So, thank you so much for submitting our Reliv fruity smoothie from Karen of Wisconsin. I am Chef Katrina with relivingrecipes.com. Thank you for joining us here today.